For one thing, this program has been one of the models in college basketball for finding success on the transfer market. But there could also be a fifth freshman in Ames next year, Tyler Harris, a four-star point guard from Memphis, Tennessee. Forget that the Cyclones have filled their 2018 scholarships. Although oversigning used to be taboo in college hoops, it's commonplace now and necessary. The number of players transferring has reached 700 in recent years. When asked Wednesday if he was done recruiting for 2018, Cyclones head coach Steve Prohm simply said, "Today we are." Harris, still priority A for Iowa State, Rivals national analyst Corey Evans told the Register. "I think the Memphis faithful are trying to downplay it and say that Iowa State is out of scholarships and whatnot, but Tyler's still priority A, B and C. They want a point guard. But this could play out past the season too. Frankly, Tyler Harris's recruitment is a bit of a mystery right now," Rivals national analyst Eric Bassi said. Multiple attempts to reach Harris and his high school and AAU coaches were unsuccessful. So, what's the deal? The mystery comes thanks to Tubby Smith and the Memphis Tigers, who shifted gears in late September to make Harris a top priority. Memphis was the first school to call the prolific 5'10" scorer in June 2016, when programs were initially allowed to contact 2018 prospects. It offered soon after, but interest wavered when it began focusing on Alex Lomax, a fellow four-star 2018 point guard from Memphis. Now, Ole Miss and Wichita State have become the favorites for Lomax, and Smith is pulling out all the stops to land Harris. Or, in other words, he's doing everything to not swing and miss on two local, high-end points guards. According to his number 67 Rivals ranking, Harris would be Smith's top-rated recruit since he landed Royce White at Minnesota in 2009. White later transferred to Iowa State, of course. Smith and assistant coach Joe Esposito had an in-home visit with Harris on September 27, 2 weeks after Prohm visited. The following week, Harris took an official visit to Memphis, a full month after his back-to-back officials to Iowa State and Colorado State. He also attended the Tigers' Memphis Madness on October 12. But, here we are, a month later, and still no decision. "I'd be concerned at the fact that he hasn't yet committed," Memphis Commercial Appeal reporter Mark Ginotto said in the October 17 episode of his Tiger basketball podcast. "I don't know what else he really needs to see or hear from Memphis, so the fact that he hasn't committed should be a concern." Does this mean Iowa State is the favorite? Not necessarily. Colorado State is faded from the picture a bit. But, as with Memphis, Harris has likely heard everything he needs to from the Cyclones, and he hasn't committed to them yet either. Plus, Tennessee offered in August and is considered a contender. Clearly, though, Memphis has left an impression over the past month and a half. Here's what Harris's high school coach, Terrence Scales, told 247 Sports a few days before Smith's in-home visit with Harris. "If I had to put money on it, I would say right now Iowa State and Colorado State are definitely way out in front of everybody else. Everybody else will be playing catch-up to those two." And now, here's Scales talking to the Commercial Appeal the day after Smith's visit. "I really like Coach Smith, and we asked him a lot of questions, and he was straight up with every question. He didn't beat around the bush or pull our leg, or whatever. Those guys were being truly genuine as to the steps they had to take when everything went crazy with the team last year as far as the transfers. We had to recalibrate a little bit. We had to get a team for this season, and once they got that situated, they could focus on the 2018-2019 kids." Memphis also might have an edge over Iowa State because it has two open 2018 slots. Even though oversigning is a regular part of recruiting now, there's something to be said for a guaranteed scholarship as a freshman. Why do the Cyclones want Harris? Because he's a four-star prospect and Rivals number 67 player for good reason. He's one of those sub-6-foot guys who has the attitude of a 7-foot, 260-pound monster. He's not scared of anybody, Bassi said of Harris, who's Tennessee's #2 2018 prospect, according to 247 Sports.